Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and welcome to the 11th episode of my second 1 billion iron ingot challenge. In today's episode, I'm going to do various things. The first thing I'm going to do is a really simple project. I am going to set up a solar panel for my farm outside, and I'm going to use the solar panel from NuclearCraft. This produces only 5 RF per tick constantly during the daytime, but the thing is, I don't need it to produce a lot of power because it won't be on very often. So the 2 RF is going to be, or the 5 RF per tick is going to be more than enough, to be honest. So let's go ahead and start making that. I need some graphite dust, and I'm not... Okay, so I need some graphite bars first. That's not a problem. I might have a few left over. I do. So I think I need 3 dust, so we'll do 2 over here and 1 over here. And that should be relatively quick. And then let's just retype in solar panel here. And then I have just about everything else except the nether quartz dust. So let's go ahead and get one of those as well. So here's our graphite dust. And then our nether quartz dust should be right here. Cool. And then I think we have everything we need to make a solar panel. Fantastic. So all I'm going to do with this solar panel is I'm going to put it on top of my battery right here, or my energy cell, and that will provide it with some power, at least during the daytime, so that it will have power to run when I need it to. As you can currently see, I've ran it enough to where this energy cell is completely drained. And let me make sure I have that lever actually off. I do. Cool. So basically, actually, just to test this out, let's go ahead and take a nap, and then we can make it daytime and we can check to see if it's working. The next thing I want to do, and yes it is, cool. The next thing I want to do is I want to hook up the reactor I built in the last episode way downstairs to my energy system up here, and that's because my energy system up here just isn't able to keep up. So I need to fix that, so I'm going to. So I'm just going to link up the two systems. If we do a little digging here, we see that my reactor has only made 10 cyanite, which means it is only run through 10 refined uranium, which means it's very efficient. But it also means I have definitely enough headroom to hook that energy system up to this energy system and still have enough energy to spare and not run out of refined uranium anytime soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some flux duct. I need the hardened flux duct, and I think I'm going to make another energy cell here. So let's actually, you know what, let's make some flux duct real fast. Some more of this hardened flux duct real fast. I'm not sure if 44 is going to be enough. 62 definitely should be, though. So next, let's grab an energy cell. That way I'm going to make this like a one-way connection so that only power can flow from the reactor downstairs to up here, and energy from up here cannot flow down to the reactor area. So that won't be a problem. Okay, cool. So now we have an energy cell. 1000 RF per tick should actually be enough. I'm not using a whole lot of power up here most of the time, so that's perfectly fine. The next thing I need to do is I need to dig down. And I want to dig down directly beside where I have the fluix over there. So I think how I'm going to set this up is right here. I'm going to put an energy cell. I'm going to put it I'm going to put it output to the top, input from the bottom, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig straight down. Once again, I do not recommend this unless you have some sort of flight. Otherwise, you will probably end up killing yourself, which is obviously not good. And I hear a skeleton, and I don't like it. That's okay, though. Okay, so we're getting close-ish. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so we just need to hook this up. Oh, come on. I was afraid of this. So I just need to run this directly up. And I probably had enough with the 44. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so that should be fantastic. We should start seeing an inflow here. One more thing I do want to do is I need to adjust my reactor downstairs to make a little more power now that up here is going to be using the energy system as well. On the other hand, I should not have any energy problems up here anymore, which is obviously a good thing. In addition, I want to wrench this to make it just look cleaner. There we go. So one more thing I want to do in kind of along the same system lines is I want to get rid of the export bus that gives this thing over one of the coal generators. Yeah, I think it's this one on the other side. I want to get rid of that export bus that gives it coal because I no longer need it. So let's go ahead and grab my crescent hammer and let's get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do real fast is I'm going to clean this up and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, I have everything cleaned up. The next thing I would like to do, and this will take the rest of the episode I believe, is I would like to set up a system to make Grains of Infinity. Grains of Infinity are from the mod Ender.io, and I will be using the mod Ender.io quite a bit in the future, so I'm going to need these Grains of Infinity quite a bit. So how you get these, and I actually just whipped right past it, is you light a fire on bedrock and just a little bit less than 50% of the time you get Grains of Infinity as the fire extinguishes. It actually pops when it happens. But I can set this up to be automatic, and that's what I'm going to do if I can. So the first thing I would like to grab is a machine called a mechanical user. I've used this in my Automate Everything series before. It's a fantastic little machine. First off, we need to make a dropper, and then I'm not sure if I have a lever or not. Apparently I do not. So let's grab a lever, and then boom, we have a mechanical user. In addition, I need a machine called a timer, not a timer, a timer from the mod RF tools. So let's go ahead and grab one of these if I can. I'm not sure how many. I think I have a few redstone torches, to be honest. But there we go. We have a timer. And then in addition, let's see here. I need a device called a vacuumulator. And what that thing does is it sucks up items near it. Items that are like on the ground and stuff. So let's make one of these. And I apparently don't have any copper gears. I really should just make a bunch of copper gears because I have a decent amount of copper at this point. So it wouldn't be a bad thing to have. Okay, there's some hoppers. What am I missing? Device frame. Duh. Okay, there is a vacuumulator. I might need some redstone. I'm not sure. Some redstone dust, that is. I don't super think I will, but whatever. I'll grab some in case. Let's see here. Yeah, I think that should be just about it. I also need, as I say, I think that's about it. I need some flux cable as well. That should be enough, I think. And let's see, is there anything else I might need? I need flint and steel, but you know what? Let's grab some flint and iron ingots. And then let's grab a capacity card. And of course it'll give me the wrong kind of Certus. It always does. I want the regular Certus. Okay, there's a capacity card. And then I need something to make items. But first let's grab some more flux duct. That may or may not be enough. I'm going to make a little bit more just in case. That should definitely be enough. So next, let's grab something to make items automatically. I know let's see what the crafter requires. I don't think I can make a crafter from Ender.io, but I should be able to make a crafter tier 1 from the mod RF tools. So let's go that route. I didn't figure I had the crafting tables. Okay. And this thing does use RF, so that's why I grabbed the hardened flux duct. What I'm going to do is, I think anyways, I'm going to export iron and flint into the crafter. And that'll make the flint and steel that I'll need for the setup. I think right now I have everything I need, so I'm going to go ahead and run down here. And let's start to set this up. Actually, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to set the export bus up yet. But I will in the future. It's just I don't have a lot of flint and iron, especially flint. So I don't want to run out of flint. I'm just going to set it up with the first 64 of each to make the flint and steel. And hopefully that'll get me a decent amount of grains of infinity. I just realized I need an import bus. Whoops. Sorry about that. Now we're going to have to backtrack. I really need to make some stairs because this is really annoying. It's either I jump for each one and that's just, or I could turn on the auto step, but I don't really like that. But it would help in this case. Okay, so import bus. And we're going to import the grains of infinity directly from the vacuumulator. Okay, so I don't have this. And I don't have a sticky piston. I probably don't have a piston. Yeah, let's make 56 of them. I know I'll use them, so it's not really a waste. I'm not really super low on any of the resources, so whatever. So there's our import bus. Let's try this again. And this system shouldn't be too hard to set up, I don't think. Which is nice. And you know what? This crafter does not have auto outputs. If I were to use this sequential fabricator from thermal expansion, it would have auto outputs, but this does not. So I'm going to need a servo and an item duct. I'm glad I'm remembering everything. Okay, servo, I need this right here. And then one item duct. I just need one. Okay. I think that's everything. Really think it's everything this time. And now I'm going to go down to where my void ore miner is. I'm going to dig underneath it, and we're going to set up this system right below where the void ore miner is. Pretty much right by where the laser from the void ore miner is. So let's do a little running here. And also, before I start that, I want to tinker with my reactor to have it output a little more power. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's still full, which is a little surprising. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, whoa. That's probably way more than I need. Let's try something like that. That'll probably be around 1,000 RF per tick. So that should be fine. In addition, let's see, where can I run this flukes cable down? You know what, right now I'm just gonna run it. I'm gonna do it real rough. I'm just gonna run it over and then down. At some point I will replace this void ore miner with the higher tier variants, but right now I cannot do that. And you know what, I want to run this to the side, not to the front. But we'll worry about upgrading the void ore miner when I get there. Right now I can't. I would really like to, but I can't. Okay, so let's... Yes. Go down. All the way down to bedrock. There we go. And actually, I also need power over here. But that won't be a problem because I can just run it right here. And we can just run it pretty much parallel to the flux. And then I need an access point, so we'll call this our access point. In the future, I'll probably end up using elevators, but for right now, whatever. Let's go ahead and set up a torch. And then let's finish running the flux duct and the flux conduit down here. And I got some diamonds, which is nice. Okay, so how I want to set this up is, first off, we'll have a mechanical user, and actually I'm going to put the torches along the wall because I want my space on the ground. And then we'll set up the vacuumulator. Let's spin this around. There we go. So we are going to set this on, let's try use item on block. We'll use right click. We'll do redstone on. And then let's make one flint and steel real fast. And then let's set up our timer. Timer can be off to this side. Okay, so I might have to point this thing down. Activate item with block. Let's try that. That's still not working. How about if I do that? It looks like it's using the flint and steel, but nothing's happening. Let's see if we can't get a Grains of Infinity by doing it manually real fast. Okay, so no there. It'll make a popping sound when it makes one like that. And that's how you get Grains of Infinity. So I'm going to try to move this thing. Got another one. Cool. So I'm going to try pointing this straight down if I can. Cool. I can rotate it. I know I've done this before and I can't remember quite. Always on. I feel like the durability has gone down a little, but it's just not. Use item. Entity. Use item on block. Activate block with item. How about redstone? Let's try manually activating this thing. Every 20 tick switches 1 second. Okay, so right now I'm having some issues, and I know I've done this before, and I can't quite remember how I did that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little troubleshooting, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I was making a pretty simple mistake here. I just wasn't giving it enough room. What happens is it doesn't actually do the block in front. It does this block right here. So if I go to use item, actually I don't remember which one it was. Use item on block, always on. Yeah, it works. So I'm going to turn that to redstone on. I'm going to actually set this timer to be not that. Let's try, what would a minute be? 20 times 60 would be 1200. So let's do 1200. That should be a minute of real time. And then what I want to do is I want to set up the vacuumulator to be right here. So it should be able to suck up any Grains of Infinity that are produced, and then it'll output to the top. Now what we can do with that is we can just simply import it. So that is fantastic. And then let's go ahead and set up our crafter, even though, like I said, I'm probably not going to be using it just right now. So I'm going to set that up. Let's do it right here, just to make things a little simple. Since I only grabbed one item duct, it has to be directly beside. We'll do the servo right here. It'll be always on. And then I'll set the crafter up real fast. By doing this and hitting the remember slot, only flint can go in all of these top slots and only iron ingots can go in the bottom slots. That way, for whatever reason, it doesn't accidentally get flooded with completely iron ingots or completely flint. Okay, so it did its first activation off of the timer. That's cool. If the grains of infinity are produced, the vacuumulator should be able to suck that up. And then it will actually go to the applied energistic system via that right there. And then let's go ahead and hook up the power for that. It did not make any grains of infinity. That's unfortunate. And then lastly, I want to set up the export bus. It'll be capacity card. I'm not actually, when I say set it up, I'm not actually going to set it up. I would do flint and iron in 2 of the slots, and then it would fill up with flint and iron as necessary. And then I could go ahead and set up the recipe, and I can do that anytime. And then just hit apply, and it'll make flint and iron. And you know what? The rest of the slots here I'm going to fill up with cobblestone so that it doesn't fill up with flint and steel where I don't want it to. Because I have the mode set on upper left hand slot only, I only want 1 flint and steel in there at a time. So I think this is pretty much complete. I just want to clean it up real fast by taking away that and that. Oh shoot, vacuumulated. That's not even a word. I just made it a word. There we go. Everything should be set up. In the future, I will set up this export bus to do flint and steel, or flint and iron ingots. But right now, I'm not going to worry about that. We're just going to drop those in there. And it should be able to make 60 more flint and steels, and that'll have this thing producing for quite a while. We should whoops, that was dumb. And this system seems to be working because the vacuumulator took up that last item, the flux cable, and it's gone. Nope, no, I want my, anyways. Yeah, I'm done, and I like this build. It's not gonna give me a whole lot of grains of infinity, but it will give me some, which is better than the none I had before. So yeah, in today's episode, I set up this system to make grains of infinity down here. I also added a solar panel to my farm so that I can generate some power to run that when I need to. And then I also hooked up the energy system down here so that it can also power my main energy grid up above at my main base. So that's pretty fantastic. Anyways, if you liked today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automation in modern Minecraft, such as this right here, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.